Here with the voice of Sweetwater Speedway, Robbie Wilson. And Robbie, we had a pretty good show last night and looking for more of the same tonight here, but how's the season been in general here in Rock Springs?
You know, it hasn't been too bad. We started out Memorial Weekend. It's always our first show, and we usually get our best car count that weekend, especially modifieds. IMCA modifieds, we do a big 1,000 to win show both nights, and we usually get a really good turnout, but it just seems like car count everywhere this year has just been down, and I don't know if it's just a parts thing, fuel cost, I don't know what it is, but car count's a little lower this year than normal, but still really good racing all season long.
Yeah, that has been an issue everywhere here. What have been your biggest car counts this year?
Definitely, surprisingly, we raised our cruiser car count, which we're going to IMCA Sport our Sport Compacts next year, and they raised the class from about 3 years ago. We had about 6 cars in the class. Last night we had 17, the most car count, and they've been by far the most consistent with the 15 plus. And then sport mods, IMCA sport mods are basically our local class outside of cruisers when it comes to the IMCA world. And then travel wise, it's kind of hit and miss. The stock cars have been down this year, but overall modifieds we consistently get about 15 or so every night. And then with the touring series that have been coming in, it's been great.
Yeah, for the ASCS Frontier region, this is our only stop in Wyoming this year, our 2-night show here. How much do the fans here like their sprint car racing?
The fans go crazy when they hear the wings are coming. When they hear the wings are coming, the fans come out. I think weather kind of made a little bit of an impact last night. Been checking the radar all night. I think it's going to be really good, and I think you're going to see really full stands this evening. And
this is pretty much entirely a volunteer operation here at Sweetwater Speedway, yourself included here, I understand here. So a lot of people putting in their time here free of charge to make Sweetwater Speedway go.
Definitely. So I first started in a guy named Paul Trent was running the track, and now he's part of the track, and we spread his ashes a few weekends ago out here as he passed away over the off season. But ever since Cara Beach took it over about 8 years ago now, it's been just insane just how well we all mesh together and how much we've learned. And we get guys calling us up all over the region to ask how we do it with just volunteers, because they can't get anybody else to do it like how we do. And again, we've all been here for 10 plus years now, and it works great.
And this is not your last show of the season here tonight. You have a couple more races coming up.
We do. Labor Day weekend, September 2nd and 3rd. We'll be right back here, and that weekend will feature the High Plains Late Model Series. So if you're into late model racing, we usually have them at some point right after the sprint cars. So myself, I enjoy everything, but I am partial to late models. It's
nothing wrong with that.
It's something we didn't get to see a whole lot around here, and I went out and visited my buddy a few years ago and watched Silver Dollar Nationals at I-80 Speedway for the first time, and I'm a late model guy, man. Hooked, done.
All right, big show coming up tonight and a few weeks from now, and Robbie and I will be working together tonight here at Sweetwater Speedway. We're at the Sweetwater Speedway in Rock Springs, Wyoming, talking with Corey Wormley, driver of the 9K Moyle-powered Maxim chassis. Solid 4th place effort for you last night. How's your weekend been so far?
We've been doing pretty good. Last night I think I just missed the setup. We rolled off the race with a heat race win last night, and I was feeling pretty confident. Track went a little slicker than I was thinking it was going to go. I was thinking there was going to be a little bit more traction out there, but last night kind of missed the setup, and tonight we ain't going to do that. We're going to make sure we hit it right on the money and get this thing in the victory lane.
You've had a little bit of momentum on your side lately here. You got your first win of the season a couple weeks ago, backed up with a strong hard charger effort to finish second here. This is after some engine issues here. So right now you got to be feeling pretty good about your program.
Yeah, I feel really confident in this Maxim. I mean, the car is just unreal. I absolutely love this car, and I'm lucky enough to have Logan Foiler as one of my good friends, and he teaches me some stuff and gives me feedback and tells me what I'm doing right and wrong, and I mean, he's just been a blessing to this program and everything I've done in the sprint car. I'm an old mod guy, so it's been quite a struggle to get learning, but finally I feel confident and just my driving ability in this car. I mean, this thing is just done really fast.
You mentioned Logan Fuller, last year's series champion here with the ASCS Frontier region here. He's been helping out in other ways too, just the camaraderie that there is in the sprint car pit area. You were loaned a motor here by Fuller the other weekend as well.
Yeah, we had some unfortunate luck and had one blow up 2 laps into the main event on another night that we were just extremely fast in the heat race, and just some bad luck, just bad parts. You know, I think it's part of this situation going on in the world. Things just aren't as good a quality as they used to be, unfortunately, and you know, lucky enough they were there, and I've known Logan for a couple years now, and I mean, they're just the nicest people you could ever ask for, and one of my good friends, and I mean, I just can't say thank you enough to even loan me the motor, let alone, you know, let me go wide open with it. So it was pretty awesome deal.
All right, you got a number of other people helping you here. Who's helping on this number 9 car?
I got to thank my mom and dad. I mean, I couldn't afford to do this by myself. We got River's Edge Assisted Living, and then we got an old timer, Mac White. I don't know if anybody knows that name, but he's been a blessing. He's seen something in me that nobody else seen, and you know, he's really taken this program a long way. And then we got Steel Etc. and MRTE Incorporated and Electric City Plumbing. You know, these guys keep us going down the road, and we honestly couldn't do it without them.
Corey Wormling, third in the points going to tonight's show, looking to move up the standings here tonight. Again at Sweetwater Speedway in Rock Springs, Wyoming, talking with Riverton, Utah driver Caleb Crowther here. And Caleb, you've been running these cars for a couple of years now, still getting the hang of these things.
Yeah, I still get the hang of it. Only been doing it for about 5 years now, so still trying to get up to pace with these guys, but we're making it each night, getting better and better.
And this is a total family operation happening, right?
Yeah, everything family. We build our engines, build all the cars ourselves. We have some sponsors that help out. We got Central Body Shop, J&M Innovative Motorsports, SNH Terminal. They all help us out a lot, so, but most of it is all our family deal.
We've occasionally seen you up north in Montana, our home territory, but we've seen you down here a couple times. Besides Sweetwater Speedway, you got Price, Utah also. Where else do they run the sprint cars at around here?
That's pretty much it. There's not really much where we can run sprint cars, so we're trying to run as much as we can, but you know, this year has been hard for everybody, so we're planning on making it up to Montana, but you know, it kind of fell apart, so we're hoping to make it up there next year and try and travel around a lot more.
Okay. Has there been much talk, if any, of maybe the drivers banding together down these parts here, between here, Utah, and Colorado, perhaps, of maybe forming their own series down here eventually?
We've been trying. We tried to start something out at Price. We were hoping to start something out with there and kind of build up some car count there, and then hopefully talk with Sweetwater up here and build a car count up here where we can run a regular show. So it'd be good to be able to travel somewhere close to home to race instead of going to Montana.
Your sister Madison raced for a while also here, but how did you get into the sprint cars?
My dad was into it for a lot of years. He owned a lot of cars. We raced at the hometown racetrack, Rocky Mountain Raceway, and before that he traveled all around the country racing for it. He was a mechanic on a World of Outlaws team, so he's been around sprint cars for a long time, so I kind of just been around it since I was a kid and decided I wanted to go fast, so we got a car.
All right, finished 7th in last night's feature. What do you think of the show for tonight?
I think it'll be a good show. Hopefully the track's same as it was last night. Track was really, really good. The top was fast. Everybody's fast last night. It was a good show last night.
All right, Caleb Crowther looking to improve on a 7th place finish from last night. Talking with Kelly Miller from Coaldale, Alberta. Finished second in last night's race there and had your best finish of the season with us and had a little bit of a rocket ship last night.
Yeah, I came around not bad after the heat race there. We kind of fought some issues. I think we found some more things this morning, but this place was a lot of fun to get around, for sure.
Okay. You were just out east. You've been driving all over the country actually here, but you were just in Knoxville, Iowa at the Knoxville 360 Nationals, and then you ran with the 410s at the Front Row Challenge at Oskaloosa here. Did you learn anything out there that would help you out here?
To be honest with you, not really, but as soon as that border opened up, we had a lot of the ground to make up, and we're still trying to knock that rust off and get a few more laps and get caught back up. I feel like I'm about 3 years behind.
All right. Had a couple of early struggles. You crashed at Great Falls here, but you stayed up towards the top of the point standings. You're second in the standings right now. You feel like you're due for a win?
I hope we can get that monkey off our back again. It's a matter of time. I think we're just gotta keep on, keep our nose to the grindstone, and we'll get one of them.
All right. Yeah, you mentioned that you were gone for a few years because of COVID, everything happening in the world here. You're stuck north of the border at home in Alberta here, but so you're just making up for it there. You've been traveling all over here. How good does it feel to be driving on a regular basis again?
It's actually starting to feel comfortable again, which is nice. We've definitely been very grateful. Got a lot of good sponsors on board, helping us get down the road, and I got a great boss and a great wife and great crew, and it's just there's a lot that goes behind goes on behind the operation here that people don't usually see. But it's just a matter of time. Things start clicking again, and hopefully we can keep some good momentum and maybe carry it over to next year.
Who do you have helping on this number 2 JR?
We got a lot of guys from home. We got the Prevost family down in Billings. We got Dennis Dirtworks. Pat Beck Motorsports is a new one this year. That's going to be a big help for us. And a lot of small guys. Like I said, my boss alone just keeps me employed. And Hawk Hydrovac and Roland Seeds Farms. And there's just the endless. And obviously my uncle and my dad are huge contributors to this 2JR team, and my uncle's kept him pretty busy this summer with motors, so I'm very grateful for him. And it's definitely a village.
Finished second last night, looking to improve by 1 position tonight here at Sweetwater Speedway. We're here with the promoter and series coordinator of the ASCS Frontier Region, Josh Stagg. And Josh, we're making our annual trip to Wyoming here. It's been a big season for us.
Yeah, Andrew, thank you. And welcome to Rock Springs, Wyoming, everybody. Day 2 of the Wyoming Shootout. We're deep in our season and in kind of the thick of several races in a row. We've got a great 2-day coming up in 2 weeks, and then we've got a 3-day. We've got a 3-day for Labor Day weekend, and we finish up with our season finale, which is the Gibson Guitar Nationals. So we're in the thick of things right now. It's been a great season. I appreciate you and all that you do for us. I think this might be season 11 for you. And if you haven't talked about it yet, you ought to talk about your experience with the series and your knowledge.
Well, you took over as the coordinator and promoter a couple of years ago. This is your second full season here, and it's been quite an experience for you compared to crewing and sponsoring on cars before.
Yeah, I mean, I've grown up around California sprint car racing when I was a kid, and our track closed down. And so when our track closed in Billings, our home market, and it reopened in 2000 I think it was 11, I decided to get involved at a more significant level and try and help out. So we started our Stag Motorsports School of Open Wheel Racing with Jimmy Seals being an instructor. You know, Jimmy's taught many of the greats. As a kid, he was, you know, my driver of choice when I was 9 and 10 years old at West Capitol Speedway in Sacramento. Jimmy did a great job teaching excuse me, a lot of our students, several of which are still with us on our series today. And Jimmy now retired, but I moved that sponsorship and some of the school stuff over to David Hoynes, who we raced 17 and 18 and won the series championship. And David got married, had a child. He's expecting another child. And so I had the opportunity to get involved kind of as a series coordinator, and I run it through one of my corporations, Stag Motorsports. We're having a fun time. The economy's tough. Tires are tough. Fuel, you know, inflation. The world's hurting right now, but racing continues on. It's something that's fun for everybody to do, and if we all remind ourselves we're out here having a good time, the series will continue on. I've got a lot of plans for next year working with the West Coast. You and I are working with the West Coast, different promoters meetings, and try and coordinate a bigger region, kind of more in the Northwest, focusing our efforts here in Montana at Big Sky Speedway in Billings, Gallatin International Speedway in Belgrade, and then Electric City Speedway, which we've got back after a 4-year hiatus. We've had a great trip. We got unfortunately rained out 4th of July weekend, but we're coming into Labor Day weekend with the annual Montana Roundup, which usually brings 35-40 cars for a 3-day race, and we're looking forward to getting back up to Great Falls.
You mentioned Great Falls getting back in the fold here. How huge is that for all 3 tracks in Montana to be back under the same roof here for the local teams?
Yeah, it's big. I mean, when you look around the country, you know, Pennsylvania and Ohio and Indiana, Texas, Oklahoma, California, those specific regions have tracks every 50 miles. We're up here in the Big Sky country, which is beautiful and it's great, but, you know, we're 140 to 300 miles between tracks in our bigger markets that can handle our purse. So getting Electric City Speedway back, very, very important. I'm a big believer, you know, I'm a facilitator of happiness, a coordinator in life and in all my businesses, and I'm a big believer that we put away the egos and we all try and work together. We're better together as one than we are all separate promoters and track owners. So I'm looking forward to collaborating with everyone this year, and going into 2023, I expect great things for our region.
Yeah, you and I will be going to Warp, the promoters gathering in Portland here. I'm hoping to go to Reno with you a few weeks later here, but you mentioned schedule coordinating. How, especially with the economy being what it is, car counts kind of hurting in multiple areas of the country, how important is it for the schedule coordination to happen between different regions of the country?
Well, I think I'm going to say something positive about sprint car racing coordination versus the other series. Certainly, we tend to be more well organized, meaning we have a coordinator versus the individual WSOTA, IMCA bodies that don't typically have a coordinator. So when we can work together as a bigger group for the greater good of sprint car racing, I just think it's very, very important. We all are organized. We just need to organize ourselves collectively as a group, and we'll be stronger as one.
Josh Dagg, leader of the Frontier region of ASCS and helping to build sprint car racing across the western United States.
Thanks, buddy.
Thank you. Here with Nick Haygood, winner of last night's ASCS Frontier Region main event here at Sweetwater Speedway. And Nick, you clearly had the dominant car last night. You won by over 6 seconds here. That'd be feeling really good for you last night.
It was. The car was good, motor was good. We lucked out with the weather and had a good crowd in the stands. So all a good night all the way around.
All right, driving the car for Rick Lowry here. You have USA Performance Engines here, but not much else for sponsorship on this car. So it's pretty much a two-man operation, it looks like.
It is. It's always kind of been a family thing for us. My mom, my stepdad, and I, and my kids have been here for most of the races this year. They weren't here this weekend, unfortunately, but it's always been a family thing, and that's kind of what makes it special for us.
We only see you a couple times or so a season, as our series is based up in Montana. You live down in Denver, Colorado. Where do you normally race?
Well, this year we've kind of been all over the place. We did a national ASCS tour race in Waukene, Kansas earlier this year. We raced with the Power I sprint cars down in Amarillo, Texas, and did a race in Rapid City as well. So we kind of just been going wherever the good races are and kind of fitting it in where we can, doing kid stuff with my kids and on the other weekends, and just trying to hit a little bit of everything this year.
You're a prior winner with this series, I believe, right here in Rock Springs here. What is it about this track that works for you?
I don't know. It's always been a fun track to race at. It's got a really cool shape, nice banking in the corners, really fast track when it's said and done, and we just always seem to have a really fun time here.
Nick Haygood looking to go 2 for 2 here at Rock Springs, Wyoming. points leader for the ASCS Frontier region, Trevor Kirkland, third place finisher last night here in Rock Springs, and outside of one wreck there, it's been a pretty solid year for you.
Yeah, it's been a good year. I mean, obviously we'd like to win a few more than we are, but that's okay. I mean, we got to do the job to get it done and in victory, put it in victory lane, to get there. So it's all on us a little bit. And last night we had a few errors, and from the driver's seat, and we ended up third. But we got to do the job. We got to finish the night out to get the win. So, yeah.
Last night was the first night in 6 races here that you did not extend your points lead, but you still got an 86-point lead here. You've been on the podium 5 of the last 6 nights, including a win 2 weeks ago here. So even though not getting the finishes you won last night there, you're riding a wave of momentum still.
Yeah, like I've told you all year, I don't want to chase points until it gets down to the last night of the racing season. I mean, we just got to do our job each and every night and trying to get the wins and make sure we're on the podium at least. And the points will fall where they fall. But that's just a testament to the team and also the competition we have. I mean, it's 86 sounds like a lot, but the difference between second and third last night was 7 points. So I mean, it's not like it's the competition isn't far behind us either. So the points just need to fall where they fall, and I just need to try and do our jobs each and every night.
You mentioned your crew here. You always got your cast of characters with you helping you out here. Who's helping you with this car?
From a crew standpoint, obviously my dad. We got Roger Cummins, we got Steve Walters, we got John Youngquist at the racetracks, and my Uncle Stu. And then at home we got Eric Kirshner and Travis, my cousins, having to do more at home because of a job now. And it's just my wife and my mom and everybody. It takes a whole team effort to get us out here each and every week.
I know it's a miles long list here, but you got a lot of sponsors helping you with this car also.
Yeah, like I tell everybody, this thing's bigger than we are. I'm just the fortunate one to get to drive the car, but we got sponsors have been on this car since I've started racing, and that's 20 plus years now. So it's just you got to have the partnerships and what it takes to get it on the racetrack every night. So we got Chevrolet Helena, we got Flawless Auto Body, we got Kunas Roofing, which is stepped up huge. We got our RMC, which is Roger Kirkness, or Roger Cummins, sorry, used to own Kirkness Roofing. And then we got Goober's Installation, we got Shoemate Racing Stables, Montana Storage, AA Transmission, Bill Willis Masonry, list goes on, Speaker Sprinklers, and it's just, like I say, there's a ton of them, and we can't do it without each and every one of them.
All right. Finished third last night. Your team felt like they missed a setup here last night. What do you think of your chances for tonight here, and what corrections have you made?
The driver just needs to use his head. I mean, last night on the start we ran it right through the middle, and had a chance to lead it coming out of 2, and we didn't. We spun the tires through the middle, which set us back, and he was able to get away from us there. And then on a restart, I tried to go around the bottom again on him. It was really fast around the top. So with being fast around the top, you kind of got to make your moves when you can, and it didn't work out, and that's when Kelly got by me for second last night. And we were right on Kelly at the end, with lap traffic, but lap traffic wasn't a factor enough, with the few cars that we had here tonight or last night. But hopefully, we can get out and get a good start and use our head for the full feature.
Trevor Kirkland, your points leader, 2 wins this year, looking for number 3 tonight here in Rock Springs.